My clock has me a minute behind. Are you ready? Tea time herbs. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and good afternoon. Good day to you. Good day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. This morning I got up and I decided, with my boot on my foot, to go take a walk with the dog. I made it down the street, 1 block down the street, and around the corner, not even, oh, hold on, that noise is in the background. I made it down the street and around the corner, and like a little bitty short street. And by the time I was turning the corner again, there's a hill. It's a small incline, but it's definitely an incline. I couldn't do that incline in the boot. So I turned around and came home. But at least I got a little bit of a walk in. My legs are going to be strong. The one leg is going to be strong by the end of me wearing this boot, because this boot is not lightweight. I mean, it's not super, super heavy, but it's also not lightweight. So good morning. Good morning. Come on in. Come have a seat at the table. Let me know what's on your mind one day before Election Day. Are you ready for what is about to happen? Are you ready for tomorrow? Are you even thinking about tomorrow? Are you thinking about getting ready for tomorrow? And if you are, what does that mean for you? What does getting ready for tomorrow mean for you? I can make some suggestions. I can suggest that you do whatever is possible to really tend to your mental space today, to really find some tranquility, some peace, some relaxation. Hey, I'm on tea time, man. Cut that noise out. Good morning, Chelsea. Well, Chelsea, did you see the scarf that I made for Nugget? So the funny thing is I made this scarf for Nugget. But, so it's a scarf. It goes around the, look, for real, I could wear this scarf myself. I'm going to wear the doggy scarf, y'all. How you like me now? How you like me now? How you like me now? Good morning, Steve. Steve, we missed your birthday, man. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. This scarf is actually kind of cute. I might have to wear it myself, y'all. For real. It's a choker. It's my Black love choker. My Black empowerment choker. Let's see, put it off this way. Yeah, there we go. People wear dog collars, you know. I don't know if they still do that, but remember back in the day? Well, Steve, you might remember. Chelsea, you don't know about your back in the day and my back in the day are not the same thing. Good morning, Tobiah. So I made this choker. It's a choker on me, but I made this dog scarf for the puppy. Why do people make scarves for animals with fur? You know, you're right. You're right. You're right. And especially, Steve, I'm right there with you, because especially, I mean, I know I made this for my dog. I made it not necessarily for him to be warm, which is why I didn't make him a big old huge sweater. I just made him this little scarf, but it's really a statement scarf. See, if I'm going to wear my I love Black people scarf, my Black power, my Black love scarf, if I'm going to wear one, I haven't made myself one yet, but I do plan to. If I'm going to wear one for myself, I thought it would be really cute to have it on my dog too. And we're both walking down the street, making a statement. It's a statement. Black Lives Matter. It's a statement. People do wear dog collars, but it probably doesn't mean the same thing it did back in the day. Maybe not. Maybe not. Good morning, Suliana. Are you back home? Are you out there living it up in the woods? So Suli, I don't know. I think you just logged on. So this is my This is my dog collar, my dog scarf that I made for Nugget. I just put it around me playing, but it's the scarf I made for Nugget. But the thing and it's a statement scarf. It's a statement scarf, Steve. So people dress up their animals as "Good morning, Angela." People dress up their animals as an extension of themselves, right? Nugget didn't get a Halloween costume, but I also know that I'm probably going to sell this little scarf or gift it to somebody because Nugget is too young to wear a scarf. Nugget, I put this scarf on him, and he immediately found the ball and is chewing on the ball. So he can't wear a scarf until he is old enough to be out of the nibbling stage, out of the puppy stage. The vanity place for you has Nugget sweating like a runway slave. Steve, you're right. I mean, not the vanity part, but it's not vanity, Steve. It's making a statement. It's making sure that everybody knows, even if I don't have my scarf on, that when they see my dog, that, look, don't step to me the wrong way, because I do believe my life matters. That scarf wouldn't look too weird if you had like a big coat on that covered your neck up, and that would be more like an ascot type of thing, right? So I might be wearing it. I might be sporting it, Chelsea. I might be sporting it myself. But the thing is, I agree with you, Steve. As I was making it and feeling how thick this is, and I know that my particular type of dog runs hot. So I kind of, once I got maybe just a little bit into it and saw "Good morning, Darlene," saw how thick it was, I knew that this would be too much of a scarf. It would be too thick for him because he runs hot. But there are animals, Steve, just so you know, like a little Chihuahua, a little short-haired animal, needs to have, even though it has fur, it may not be well conditioned for the cold, and so it needs to have something. If you're going to have it out in the cold, then you have it, you put something on it to help keep it warm. So even though, Steve, these animals have coverings of their own, right? Sometimes it's important because we keep animals in environments that's not their natural environment, so we got to help them out. My little Nugget, he's out there look, that dog goes outside on the patio, on the porch, in the cold, and sits out there like, oh my God, they keep it too hot in that house. He has been outside at least 5 times already this morning. Like, just let me outside. Y'all got too much heat on in here. Anyway, so my question for today is it wasn't about, Suli, if you had a pet, I'd have to send this to you, but I don't think your hamster can wear a scarf. I'd have to send this to you so that your dog can match your scarf, Suli. You inspired this. You inspired this scarf for the pup. Anyway, the question is, are you ready? Are you ready for tomorrow? All hell is going to break loose, one way or another. If Trump wins, which don't think that it's not possible. It is definitely possible. It is definitely possible. And I dare to say probable. I dare to say that because I just don't have confidence in the good of people. I don't have confidence in that at all. And I hope to be proven wrong tomorrow, but probable. So if Trump wins, and it can be called tomorrow, which likely it won't be able to be, all hell is going to break loose. If Trump doesn't win, all hell is going to break loose. If Trump doesn't win, if it's not a clean win, Trump is going to contest it. Trump has already been preparing us for him contesting whatever the decision is. You have states that have restricted the counting of ballots until the date of election, until tomorrow, right? And there's no way that all of these ballots, right, vote like your life depends on it, because it really does, right? All of these ballots are not going to be counted by tomorrow. Good morning, Rose. All of the ballots, especially with the number of mail-in ballots, which I'm sure is far greater than any times past because of this pandemic, right? So Trump and his administration is trying to make sure that there's legislation that says that no ballots can be counted after election day, which would go completely against past precedents. Absentee ballots are always counted after election day. Mail-in ballots are always counted after. Can you get that from him? Nugget, you're going to get beat. I don't beat the dog. I don't beat the dog. I'm just playing. Take him outside. He needs to play. Michigan is one of those states. I'm counting ballots. Please pray for me. Michigan is one of the states that doesn't allow counting until election day. And the sad part about that is it's just obstructionism, obstruction. Everything that can be done to lean. Yeah, that noise was the dog playing with his little makeshift toy that I made for him. Chelsea, I took this bottle and I put a bell inside of it, and he entertains himself pushing it around and hearing his bell. No. Hey, Nugget, let's. You see, Nugget? You see? Messy Nugget. Man, it's just like a baby. You gotta take the noisemakers away. You buy the noisemakers, you make the noisemakers, and then you gotta take them away sometimes. So the thing is, my question to you is, are you ready? Etienne Tonye. Etienne, viens ici. Ton chien. They're trying to restart Jim Crow in America. And it's the hypocrisy of it all that bothers me. It's the hypocrisy. All of the things that are complained about, all of the policies, we can't do this because the Democrats are trying to blah, 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 all of the wrongdoing that's being sanctioned now in order for particular people to have their way. It's scary. I am scared for tomorrow. I am scared for tomorrow, regardless of whether the Democrats win. Trump has successfully emboldened a part of America that should have died a long time ago. He has fed life into the ugliest part of who we are as a country. And those people are not going to rest tomorrow if Trump doesn't win. And if Trump does win, they will be further emboldened, and we should all really be afraid. Anytime you have Trump supporters trying to run cars off the road, or even surrounding the Biden folks and their caravan in Texas, intimidating. And there's nothing that's wrong with that. There's nothing wrong there, right? Are you ready for this? Good morning, Catrice. Are you ready for tomorrow? That's my question for you, and nobody's answered that question for me. How are you preparing yourself to face tomorrow? Do you plan on watching the polls as the numbers as they come in? I know at a certain point in the last election, when it was Trump against Clinton, at a certain point, I just had to go to bed. Well, because, in California, it was some of the numbers were coming in later than in other states. So it got to be late. It got to be 10, 11, 12 o'clock. I had to go to bed. I could not watch it any longer. And I am afraid to watch it tomorrow because in 2016, we, not me, we, others, were confident in us, confident. There's no way Trump can win a national election. No way that could happen. And then we saw it unfolding. Too many of us were confident that there's no way Trump could win a national election. Steve said, I wish a cracker. Do you know that gun shops are sold out? Is that what we're coming to? Is that what it's coming to? Big day for me tomorrow too, but we will be watching. How is it a big day for you? What you not sharing? I'm afraid, you guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me tomorrow. That's probably why I'm gonna be knitting up a storm, right? I'm gonna be sitting there knitting. I don't know if I can watch. I don't know if I have the strength to withstand the stress of watching. Now, don't get me wrong. I know I'm a strong person. I know I can. If I want to, I could if I wanted to. But I don't know that I really want to. I think I want to go to bed believing that it's possible that enough of us have mobilized to, oh, you bought gun stock. Ooh, gun stock. Who's gun? What's gun stock? I need some gun stock. And ammunition, is the gun stock the same as the ammunition stock? What is that? What's the gun stock? Tell me a name so I can go and buy some. It's a scary time. It's a scary time. And I'm trying to not. I'm glad that there's sunshine today. Hey, listen. Y'all, these two boys I got at this house right now. Lil Wayne and the rest of his Trump supporters are taking an L tomorrow. What's taking an L mean? I don't know what that means. It's going to ping pong, and with the mail-in ballots, it will not be final tomorrow. It won't be final tomorrow, except that Trump is trying to have a ruling that any ballots not counted tomorrow won't count. Nugget. Nutrishpa. I mean, how did we get here? How are we here? How is this where we are? I mean, I don't understand. How is it that anybody's even entertaining the idea that all of a sudden, just so that we can make sure that Trump wins, that we will stop counting ballots on election day? How is it that we get to the point that anybody thinks that's even a possibility of putting that do we need to sign up to count? I think it's too late to sign up to count, Catrice, because you had to be trained for that. Oh, taking a loss. Okay, thank you. Because we have been complacent. Wesson. This is who America really is. Wesson. Let me write that down. I know, Steve, you are so right. And that is so scary. We have known America was jacked up, right? We have known that there are problems that need to be faced. But did any of you ever really think it was this bad? I mean, I knew it was bad. We are here due to Caste. He is fighting for his top run. The sickness revealed the true sickness. Right. You're right. That's why we all need to read that book, right? But not how we are here in terms of him. I did steal your birthday mug because I wanted to make sure that you had it when you were 50. So I'm keeping it safe for you. America has never changed from its racist creation. I don't know that I thought it was this bad. I've known it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I have not lived under a rock. I've known what we're dealing with, but I guess it's that I knew it was bad, but the worst of the worst were hiding. And the worst of the worst are not hiding anymore. And I guess there was a bit of comfort for me in knowing that the worst of the worst has to hide. And now the worst of the worst don't have to hide. And that's the part that bothers me the most. When has this become acceptable? Yes, when his nomination wasn't a joke and he became the representative candidate, the Republican candidate in 2016, we were all born into this war that we didn't create. Right, right. But I liked the idea that the worst of the worst had to hide. And now they know they don't have to hide. And that's the scary part right there. Because I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, a very, very segregated city. And I grew up knowing what part of the city not to go into, right? Because you just knew that in this area, even if there were people who didn't like you, they weren't going to let it be known that they didn't like you. The areas where people let it be known that they didn't like you, oh, well, that's South County. That's Deep South. Oh, that's this other. I think it was just really just Deep South, right? So you knew, or there's some other Italian areas. Okay, just don't go over there. Because in those areas, they will let it be known and they stay together to hate together, right? I think the scariest thing for me now is that I don't know where to go to be safe, because now nobody feels like they have to hide their ugly. So now you see that the ugly really is living amongst you. It's not just living in Deep South County, St. Louis. It's not just living in the Italian area of St. Louis. It's not just living there. It's living next door to you, literally your neighbor, right? They weren't hidden like you think. They were working in plain sight, but they were not letting Rose, right? They were in plain sight, but they weren't outwardly showing who they were. So you were safe because they didn't feel comfortable letting you know who they were in public. Didn't mean that's not who they were. But in that area, in Central West End, you were safe. In Webster Groves, I don't know, I didn't grow up in Webster Groves, but I did go to school there. Were you safe in Webster? In certain areas, you were safe, relatively safe. But where are you safe now? When nobody cares about letting you know that they are full-on bigots, racists, misogynists, sexist, homophobics. They don't care. Yes, they are wearing that ugly with pride. I'd rather see you in the light. I remember the black and white drinking fountains and restrooms. Wow, Tabaya, I didn't realize. I mean, I know you're not old, but I didn't realize that was your time. I am sad, but glad to know the truth. It has always been everywhere in America. Yeah, but you guys know there were some places where you knew you could go relatively safer than other places, right? And that's the fear. That's the thing I have right now. That's the thing. I don't know where. I don't know whether walking down this street is relatively safe for me or I just don't know. I don't know that there is now a particular area that's safer than a different area. You just ain't safe, period. Girl, my neighbor used to call the police if our company parked in front of their house. All the whites moved when we moved in that neighborhood in the 70s. Was that Webster, Rose? I grew up in the city. We have black and white around us. I grew up in the Central West End part of St. Louis. So it was relatively diverse, relatively middle class, upper middle class, and upper class, depending on which mansion, you know. So in those communities, people, that wasn't what they let show on the outside. Now that may have been what they were talking about at tea time with their, at the tea table with their relatives, but it wasn't what they let show on the outside. It was in the 1950s when I would visit my family in Texas. Okay. I just feel like there's always a time that we move forward and we take 2 steps forward, 1 step forward and 2 steps back, right? Rock Hill right next door to Webster. Okay. All right. And Brentwood, it was in between. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. I wasn't sure about that area, but I know in the Central West End, I was fine. I was fine in the Central West End. I want to know I want to know who you are. That's one of the things about California that was unsettling for me, is because the idea of California is this very liberal area. And although California leans towards liberal, that's right. But there's a lot of racism that's still there, that they just, it's just polite racism, if you can even consider racism polite, right? It's just polite ugly. And so some people will miss the ugly because it's just so polite. Oh no, they were blatantly racist in my neighborhood. Okay. Well, see, I would believe it out there. I would believe it. Every cracker has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Prepare for things to be that way if Trump wins. Even in San Francisco, there's always been segregated areas. I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why I liked growing up in the city, in the urban area. And I don't mean ghetto, blah, blah, blah. I didn't grow up in the ghetto, but in urban situations, metropolitan areas, you tend to be a little bit safer than if you go into the outskirts, into the suburbs, right? And so I think that's why I've always leaned more towards the urban area than the suburban area. I didn't ever want to be in suburbia. I'm not suburbia. I feel safer in urban areas because there's a better eclectic mix of people in the urban areas. And it's harder for you to show your ugly in the urban areas. And I think the people who live in urban areas just don't tend to carry that. Maybe because they're happy to live in the diverse area, diverse community, right? I don't know, but I don't know how to prepare for tomorrow, except that maybe today, take it easy. Maybe that's what we all need to do today, is to just make sure we are in a good mental space. Just make sure. My mother was going to canvass for Biden, telephone canvass for Biden, and decided that she couldn't handle it mentally, that she just couldn't. She couldn't take that stress, and so she's not going to do it. Hey, Robin. How's mom doing, Robin? I saw an overpass bridge in Lafayette stacked with Trump signs and supporters. Those people likely work with you in SF. Yes, but yes, I agree, Steve. I agree, but they're not going to show their ass in SF. That's what I'm saying. They will show their ass outside in their suburban little safe environment where everybody thinks like them and looks like them and cookie cutter homes, right? But they're not going to come into the city generally. They don't come into the metropolitan areas and show their asses. They show it at home, not at work. So that's why I want to live where they work. I agree with you. It's everywhere, but there's just some places where people have not felt okay showing it. And now the fear that I have is that if we rubber stamp, we, meaning they, rubber stamp another Trump presidency, then we are rubber stamping, we, meaning they, rubber stamping all of the ugly that Trump has brought. And I was thinking this morning about, you can't see the forest for the trees. That saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Hey, learning how to breathe differently and is in a regular room now. Oh, good. Yay. Everybody continue to pray for Robin's mom. She's had 2 surgeries, or 1 surgery. She had a heart attack and then she had to have surgery. So pray for her mom. Or keep her in your thoughts, whatever you do. It's always been because of the numbers of people versus the smaller number of blacks in the suburbs, right? Right. I was thinking about that saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. And the reason I was thinking about that is that, okay, Robin, I must have seen your post twice and thought that it was a second surgery. Exactly, Kai. That's why they won't bother you if Trump wins. They are cowards. They are cowards, right? They are cowards. This is the thing. You have these people who want to say Trump has done this. Trump has done this well, and he's done that well, and he's done this well. Okay. So if your child comes to you smelling like shit, with shit smeared all over their hands and their shirt, doesn't matter what they're saying. Does it matter that your son is bringing you roses in the shitty hands, shit-covered hands, smelling like shit? Because maybe he stepped in some dog shit when he was trying to cut those roses from the rose bush. And he got dog shit everywhere. He's 5, let's say he's 5. And he brings you beautiful, beautiful roses, but he smells like shit. His hands are covered in shit, and the stems of the roses are covered in shit. Do you see the roses is beautiful? Now I know all y'all gonna say, well, yeah, he's my 5-year-old son, so I'm gonna think it's beautiful. No, I'm gonna be like, dude, let's get you washed up. We deal with the roses later. Let's get you cleaned up. Thank you for those roses. Let's get you cleaned up. Why you gotta smell like shit when you coming to bring me roses? If your child introduces her boyfriend, like Bill Cosby before we knew he was a rapist, if you bring me your boyfriend, you introduce him the wrong way, you bring him to me on a trash can top, don't expect me to well receive him. We had that conversation, Chelsea Mack, you remember that. It does not matter if Trump did anything good, anything. Let's just for shits and grins right now, let's just pretend like he did something good. Some policy was good, or maybe a little bit extra money for somebody. It wasn't for me because my taxes didn't look good this year. They looked worse. And there were benefits things that I didn't get to claim, like my moving expenses. No, Trump took all that away. I couldn't claim all the expense of me moving to Maryland for a new job. I could not claim that, right? I'm so mad. But if I was military, I could. Let's just pretend that he did something right. Even 10 things right. Let's just pretend he's done 10 things right. I can't see those 10 things. I can't see those 10 things. I can't see them because he's grabbing women by the pussy. I can't see anything good. I know it's hard to imagine, but work with me. Nothing, because you're grabbing women by the pussy. So, no, you've done nothing right. I can't see anything right that you have done because you have emboldened a racist group of Americans. You have sanctioned racism. You have sanctioned bigotry. He tweeted, I love Texas, when sharing the video of his Trump supporters surrounding a Biden caravan, intimidating a Biden caravan. And he tweeted, I love Texas. No, I can see nothing good that you have done. Nothing. So don't ask me what has Trump done good. Nothing. Because I can't see the forest for the trees. Now, and I know that doesn't really apply here, but the trees here, if he had done something good, it would be overshadowed by every single negative thing that he has done that speaks to the character, my safety. A leopard doesn't change their spots. He's good. His good doesn't outweigh his bad. Exactly. He's the result of a grandfather who was a pimp and a father who was a Klansman. You are never welcome at my table. Now, let's contrast that to Biden. In the 70s, was it? Biden said something about Black people. And since then, Biden has had some policies, supported some things that maybe we don't agree with now. Kamala, too, supported some things that we don't agree with now. But have they done good? And has their record most recently been a record of good? Biden was a phenomenal vice president under Obama for 8 years. So if I were going to consider anything about Biden, I'm going to consider his recent record. We all do things. We have all said things. We have all done things years ago. We have grown. And for a white person to say something negative about a black person, really? Do you not think that almost every white person you know has probably at some point cracked a black people joke? Or come on, man. It doesn't excuse it. But if I gotta weigh one versus the other, I'm not going with the one that has the recent record of treachery. I'm gonna go with the one that had the past record and has since done good. Somebody posted something on my page or on a page on their page that said, if you can't vote for Biden because what he said in 1970, how about what Trump said yesterday? What he tweeted this morning? How about that? I always remember that the left wing and the right wing are from the same bird. Exactly. And you have to believe that Biden under Obama changed who he was. You have to believe that what Biden said 30 or 40 years ago, based on what he has done recently, what he has tried to do recently. And then people will say, well, he didn't do anything. He's been in politics for 40-something years. People, meaning Trump supporters. He's been in politics for 40-something years. And what did he do under Obama? What did you allow him to do under Obama? When you obstructed every single thing, and we can see it because now you're in office trying to reverse every single good thing that Obama and Biden did. How can you tell him? How can you say he didn't do it? It's like giving your kids to sit down and do your homework, but you don't give them any of the tools to do their homework, but then you whoop them for not doing their homework. But you didn't give me a pencil, mama. I don't have any paper. I don't have a pencil. I don't have a dictionary. How can I do this work when you cripple me? You don't allow me to do the work. You tell your kids to do their homework and then you send them to the kitchen to clean and sweep and walk the dog and do everything. Yeah, I know. I'm talking to myself right now. How can they get it done? Anyway, guys, we have a lot to think about or not think about tomorrow. For tomorrow, I would suggest not thinking about it unless you're doing work for the campaign. They couldn't do everything when their hands were tied. Exactly, Robin, but yet they're being blamed for not doing anything. Everything that they did, they had to fight to do along the way, the whole entire time, every single thing. Fight. We have a lot of work and we've got to turn this country around. We really do. We've got to really and it's not our job to fix our cousins, your cousins, not my cousins, your cousins. It's not our job to fix them, but we got to try to fix them so that we can be more comfortable. But today, prepare yourself in whatever way possible to have peace, to have peace tonight, to have peace tomorrow, to not let anxiety take over, and to make it through tomorrow, and to just be able to handle whatever the decision is, and understand that there needs to be a plan. Regardless of what the decision is, there needs to be a plan. Never forget that we were Republicans for decades before the Democrats moved over to the party. Yeah. It used to be the Democrats that were super racist, and then it flips, right? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna be walking around in my dog collar, and I'm gonna do some knitting. I'm gonna get my work done. I'm gonna find peace today. I'm going to find peace today away from politics, and just figure out how to strengthen myself for whatever happens tomorrow. I hope the right thing happens. You guys have a wonderful, glorious day. Get out. It's sunshine. The sun is shining here. So I got out like I said, I got out to walk 3 blocks. Susanna recommended that I get something called an Even Up an Even Up balance leveler. It's for me to put on my right foot so that when I'm walking, My gait is not uneven from the boot and regular shoes. So that comes today. I'm very excited about that because I hope to be able to actually do a little bit more walking once I have that. So if it comes today, it's right on time because I know I'm gonna need lots of walking tomorrow. So you guys have a wonderful, glorious day. Keep yourself safe. Today, I want to recommend that you focus on physically staying safe. Yes, wash your hands, keep your distance, wear your mask, but mentally staying safe. Like really do some meditation, do some quiet time, some reading, take your walks, do whatever you need to do to put yourself in the absolute safest mental space so that you are prepared for the crazy that's about to hit us tomorrow. Have a blessed day, and I will see you here tomorrow.